All right, so here is my my final project, the personal project, week 8, or the final submission. So I'm just going to go through real quick and show the error handling and data validation from the code. This will also be, of course, in my render, and then I'll demonstrate the um, deployment to the web and the API documentation, and then the routes and the OAuth with the routes and the changes to the database. So let's jump into it. Hopefully I can keep this video pretty short, or I'll try to. So yeah, if we look at the controllers, we look at the ingredients controller, we have our try and catch, we have some error handling to make sure everything that is sent to the database is correct. We've got 201, and then we've got 400 errors in case there's not an ingredient found. Yeah, so some basics there for ingredient controller. Just verify that it's also in recipes. I think I demonstrated this last week. I don't know if you want me to demonstrate it again, but I'll show what this is. So the global 500 server error, and I can show where that is. I've just commented it out, but maybe I should, let's see. So error handling and try catch for all the recipe stuff for controller. 201. So 400 errors if the recipe is not found again. And some errors for deleting the recipe if we can't delete it or doesn't exist. All right, so some basic error handling, try catch, and then those 400 errors. The 500 server error is, or sorry, the global 500 is here in server.js. Checking obviously for any issues there, and if there are any that should print to the console, give details of what the issue is. Whoops, and then give us that internal server error 500. So that's at the global level. And then so I won't demonstrate that, and if you need me to, I'll remake the video, but I demonstrated that last week. You can see in the code it does work. So then I'll go and just demonstrate validation. So I'm using Joy, just requiring the basics of what's needed for recipes and ingredients. Recipe name needs to be a string, it's required. Servings are required, there must be a number. Needs to be an array for instructions and ingredients. Ingredients, same thing, they need to have a name, needs to have at least a category and at least the serving units. So we're validating that. If it's not validated, we're going to get a 400 and a message indicating there's an issue with the recipe or the ingredients. Let's see. Yeah, so we got that both for the validate recipe, validate ingredients, and then also for the ID, we're making sure we get a valid object ID that we're going to be working with, and if not, we're going to get a 400 error as well. So yeah, there's that. All right, and then so we got authentication here. Whoops, sorry. The routes set up so that, again, it's going to expire within 1 hour. JWT it's signed. If everything works, we get authentication successful, and if it does not and there's a failure, we get a 401. So again, 400 error. And then let's go. I'll just show the rest of that. So authentication, our middleware. Whoops. Making sure that we get the token and how it's going to be formatted in case the token is incorrect or not working. We're going to spit out, whoops, come on, error message 400 indicating it's malformed or not working correctly, making sure the formatting is correct, and again, giving an error message if there's a problem. So that's in our middleware, and then of course the passport config using OAuth, and what we need here for the body. And let's see. So authentication. Okay, so now let's go show the routes. So got all our routes at the index level, and then ingredients routes showing that we are making sure there's validation and checking for authorization, authentication, checking token, and then validation on each of the routes. It's a little bit zoomed in, sorry. So you should be able to see that, and then just make sure you can see all of this. Same thing here for recipes routes. Just got validation and authentication around the routes that we need to. So let's see. Checking token, validation. So that's for our put, post, delete. And of course validate ID for get. Okay, so I think we've covered everything here in the code. Oh, and also I'll just show my swagger.js just as well so you can see it implemented. All right, and then let's go to the Swagger documentation on the database and render, and I can demonstrate that. All right, so render is up and running. You can see it's deployed. Let's show you the environmental variables here real quick. So got everything entered for callback URL, client ID, client secret, JWT, our Mongo UI, and node version. And go back here, open this, and type. Okay, and so now we've got our documentation. Let me make that just a bit bigger so you can see, hopefully. All right, and so I've got authorize here to enter our token, and then we have the locks demonstrating whether or not it's authorized, ingredients and authentication, everything organized. So let's see. All right, let me just demonstrate what's going on, or this working. So if we go to, oops, let me bring this up a little bit so I'm wrong. Okay, so if we go to create a recipe without authentication or authorization, my apologies, it should, come on, where is that? Okay, yeah, here we go. Okay, let me show the database. So in the database, let's make that bigger. Okay. In the database, we've got our chicken stir fry, spicy chicken burrito bowl. I added something different. So just those two recipes for now. And if we go here, whoops, let's make sure I switch back over, try it out. And we're not authorized at this point. You can see we should get that error message. Yep, so 401, access denied, token missing or malformed. Let's clear that. And cancel. And then if we try to edit, so I'm going to just get this honey chicken stir fry. If we try to, oops, we want that here. And we try to edit it like this. Let's see. Shoot. Hold on. Okay, this should work. Oops. So if we try to edit that, 2.5, okay, and let's just change serving size to 55,000. Oh, we're gonna. So again, we got an error because we don't have the token. So I don't know if you want me to demonstrate every route. I think it just said, let's see, post put. Oh, we can do delete too. Let's just double check that real quick. So if we go to delete recipe, we get 401 error as well. All right, so now let's go demonstrate the token and then put that in. All right, so if we put in our information here, auth Google, okay. Okay. Oops. Okay. Gonna have to share another screen. Let's see, hold on. Okay, so we put in our thing there. And this has to happen off screen. I'll just do this on my phone. Authenticate. Come on. Okay. Copy the code and put it in. All right, and there's our token. We can make it pretty. So if we copy this token now, put it in our Swagger doc. So we'll authorize, type in bearer. All right, and now you can see all the padlocks are dark black and they're locked. So now let's make sure and add that lasagna. Okay. So now if we go to get ingredients, we should get 200. We get all our ingredients. So we got our, okay, whoops, that's ingredients. Yeah, it's easier to demonstrate with recipes, I think. So try it out. Execute. 200. We got our recipe. Chicken stir fry, chicken burrito bowl, and if we go to put recipe, try it out. We're already authorized, so I don't know if you want me to demonstrate putting the string in there, but it would just be, whoops, would just be the bearer space and then the token. So if we go ahead and execute this, add lasagna, get our 201 and our insert ID, and then let's go look at the database. We can see. All right, so our database, why are you so small? Oh, I know why. There we go. Okay, so we got our chicken stir fry, and we've got our chicken burrito bowl, and that's it. But if we go and refresh the data, we've got our chicken stir fry, we've got our burrito bowl, and we've got the lasagna we just added. And then we can update it. So let's go back to Swagger. Let's clear this. And I think we're going to need that same thing. So then put, okay, and whoops, gotta click try it out. Okay, and then for put, we want, here's the recipe, and we'll go get the ID. It's for the lasagna. Okay. So get this guy. And go back over. Put it in here. And let's just change the calories to 589021. That's a lot of calories. And execute. We get our 204 response. Okay. Let's go back and look at the database. And you can see its calories per serving is 450. If we update the data, we go look at the lasagna, it is 589,021 calories. So you can see that that got updated. And then let's go ahead and delete that. Make sure I have that. Go back over to Swagger. Clear. Cancel up. And then delete. And try out. And recipe successfully deleted, 200. You go back to our database. And oops. Update our data. We have the chicken stir fry and the chicken burrito bowl, and it's deleted. All right, I believe that that is everything that is supposed to be demonstrated in the rubric. If I did happen to miss something, let me know and I'll remake the video. But yeah, there's my personal assignment. Oh, I just realized I forgot one thing. So let's demonstrate. Clear, cancel. So I did show, you got the authentication routes here as well. So if we go to authorize, we can log out, and we should not be able to. Well, at least we can log out. All right, so I'll just demonstrate, make sure I demonstrate this. So again, logged out of authorize, and then we've got our spicy chicken burrito bowl. So if I want to try to change it or update it, so we've got the correct string, and we could just try to change servings to 14. And now if we execute, you can see we get a 401. Access denied, token missing or malformed. So there's that demonstration. I think that's everything. If I missed anything, let me know and I can remake the video.